We back, baby, with another reflection on the daily Vedantic. Being childlike wonderment. As Socrates so famously said, wisdom begins in wonder. There's such a value placed on childlike wonderment within spiritual traditions, from Vedanta to Christ saying one must become like a child to enter the gates of heaven, like a child. But then you have cases where, in the Gita, for example, the famous charioteer guiding the famous warrior prince says, don't be childish. And then says to be like a child. What is the difference? Well, in a concise phrase, we are called to be childlike, but not childish. Childlike, but not childish. Childlike is a sense of awe, is wonderment, as we noted. It is a glee in the moment, a contentment, joy in the moment. Children have so much energy throughout the entire day because they're not thinking about the past, they're not thinking about the future. Every time we ask our 4 or 7-year-old, what's your favorite part of today? Without fail, right now. And after a few years of hearing at dinner, what was your favorite part? Or what's the highlight of the day? Right now. You start to recognize, man, how great that must be to where every time you ask, what's your favorite part of the day? Boom, right now. They're living in the present. That is childlike. I will also say, for a 7-year-old, it is so beautiful. I said this recently in a Venice Vedanta Club hang. It is so beautiful to have a child around. They light up any community that they're in. But you would never leave them home alone. The mind is often compared to a child, where you have all these preferences, likes and dislikes, and children have plenty of those. A whole lot of fear, a whole lot of excitement, and it's unguarded. It is, we have a whole lot of fear, a whole lot of excitement, and it's oftentimes unguided by the intellect. The intellect is seen as the adult in the room that says, yes, all of these things, all of these ways of playing, awesome, but don't turn on the stove when there's a stack of papers right above it. In the same way you wouldn't leave a child home alone, the intellect is the adult in the room that says, yeah, these emotions, they're great, but let's guide them towards the higher. Let's guide them towards service of our community, of our family, of ourselves. Let's guide them. Not, dude, run wild. A 7-year-old probably wouldn't lead an army, a company, or a family very well. They'd have wonderment in spades, but they also wouldn't be able to overcome fear, perhaps, in a certain decision. But they also perhaps wouldn't be able to overcome fear in a situation that, well, the intellect, an adult, a 25-year-old soldier might be able to. For righteousness, for truth. Might not be able to guide a company thinking through, well, yeah, we got to do some hard things right now because it's going to be worth it in the end. It might be wonderment, but also a lot of indulgence. And we get the best of both worlds when we can value being childlike, but not being childish. When we can value wonderment, but not indulgence. When we can value presence, but not attachment. Being childlike, such a great quality. We all know those friends that are childlike, that just are light on their feet, loose, fun, interested in whatever we're talking about, living in the moment, not in the middle of dinner, just you can tell so consumed with the past or the future. Those childlike qualities that make someone phenomenal are usually paired with an aversion to childish qualities like indulgence and attachment, tantrums, overexcitability. We're called to be childlike within this tradition and many others, because there's so many beautiful virtues within a child that has not been programmed by society and their community around them towards 10, 20, 30-year treks towards some financial goal, or primed to think, well, you've got to be really interesting if you want people to like you. As they say, be interested, not interesting. Children, with their curiosity, with their wonderment, they epitomize being interested, not trying to parade around being interesting. Childlike, but not childish. One is a virtue, the other a vice. Guide, cultivate, lean into the virtuous side of a child with the use of the intellect. Honing into presence, honing into interest in others, honing into wonderment, putting the ego in the back seat that wants to say, I know, I need to know, but saying, wow, maybe I have no idea. Maybe I could actually be totally off about that. Maybe I was totally wrong back there. Not kind of stubborn, fearful, thinking, I know what to do. I know how the world works. I know I did the right thing, but out of wonderment, a lack of ego, a love of the now, always down to play at a moment's notice. Always down to play at a moment's notice. Childlike, but not childish. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.